So here we are for another F1 My Team episode, and today we're here for the Austrian Grand Prix. Now, first of all, before we jump into the action, if you haven't seen the previous race at France, then go check it out. The Paul Ricard race, which was a race of redemption, of course, as we look to fight back after a DNF in Season 3. So, this weekend, we're here at Austria. First of all, we do have a chassis department event, so we're going to jump into that shortly. First of all, though, we're going to take care of some activities. Now, only 2 days until the next race, a very short turnaround on this one. I'm just going to go ahead and do some second drive external training and also a podium celebration party to improve team morale and just keep the spirit and the vibes within the team high so that everyone's running at maximum performance. Now, we did get this chassis department event, up here, and essentially the staff want a bit more flexibility in their schedule and a few areas to have a bit more fun and to chill out within the facility. So I went ahead and agreed to the change to give a bit more morale to the chassis department and just make everyone feel a bit happier. Now, to go with it, this race, we are going to go ahead and change the remaining power unit components to spec or level number 2. We do have a few more backup components left over, as of course this is my kind of first official change of the season. We took a chance in the last race with the ICE, which is pretty worn out, so we're going to change that here this weekend. And also this weekend, you can see on the weather forecast for the race, we have a lot of rain forecast, so it could be quite a spicy one. So with that said, we're going to jump into qualifying here at Austria, and we're going to see how we get on for the weekend. Of course, this is one of them tracks where the AI are quite strong, so we'll see what happens. Of course, also worth noting, will we see any sub 1 minute lap times around here? That's going to be the real question mark as well. Will we be able to do a sub 1 minute lap time? We'll find out shortly. Either way, my first push lap didn't go according to plan. We got an invalidation for running wide at turn 9, so we had to go again. I went for a second consecutive push lap, and you'll see here we actually nailed turn 1 beautifully. And now on the run up to turn 3, we're actually going to get held up here by Gasly, who's leaving the pits but doesn't get out of the way. He stays in the racing line. I actually get turn 3 completely wrong because of the momentum that I lost, and I ended up backing off. I then went for another push lap straight after that because I had enough fuel for one more, and this lap was going more or less according to plan, but then for some reason I got that BS warning for track limits on the exit of turn 6. So yeah, with that I just went into the pit lane and gave up. End of Q1, I put a fresh set of soft tyres on and I went out for one final time. Purple in sector 2 right now, but we run wide at turn 9 again and get another warning for track limits. And at this stage, we're really up against it. So we've got just about enough time for one more lap here. So we're going to commit and try and squeeze one more. You can see we invalidate on this one, but luckily there is time to just cool the tyres off and get one more lap in. Similar to the previous set of tyres, this is basically our third push lap. And you can see this time, purple in sector 2 once again, trying to keep that pace going as we make our way into the final 2 corners. And this time I'm going to drive quite safe, keep it relatively within track limits here, and I want to get into Q2, so I just want to play it safe and not go too aggressive as we run across the line and we finish our lap. So at least we've got a valid lap in right at the end. The question is it enough? Yes, it is. P15, a 1 minute 0.5. And Schwartzman's chilling on a 1 minute 0.3. I can't tell you, I think the fastest time, if you look at the Delta, is about a 59.7, I believe, from Max Verstappen. So, yeah, they are already chilling in the sub 1 minutes in Q1. Now, Q2 is upon us, and I went out on a fresh, no, tell a lie, this was actually a used set of soft tyres, I believe. And our first banker is going to be a 1 minute 0.7, which is not bad. A pretty decent banker on old tyres. And that was actually on my second lap in this session, so at that point the tyres were about 10% worn. But we then put on our final fresh set of soft tyres, and we're going to try and see if we can get to Q3. Unfortunately, my first lap wasn't great. I messed up turn 4, therefore backing off and rolling out the lap. We're going to try and squeeze one more lap out of these tyres as we make our way through the final 2 corners here. 30 seconds to go. We're going to try and get one more lap in the session and see if we can try and get into Q3. So here we go. Up towards turn 1, bring the car over to the left, braking at about 60 meters, aggressive over the curbs on entry and exit as we open DRS on the run up towards turn 2 and turn 3. Sector 1 already finished. Now the hairpin, braking at about 75 meters down the 3rd gear, get the inside curb and then straighten up the exit and square the car off nicely as we make up a load of time. So even though the first sector wasn't great, we found loads of it in turn 3. Turn 4, brake in, 4th gear, clip the inside curb, very important, and try to get the drive out of there. We do lose a bit of time, a little fraction of our advantage as we now head into turns 6 and 7. Trying to carry that mid-corner speed here as we're looking pretty decent right now. And we don't quite trouble the apex there on the left-hander of turn 7 as we make our way into the final 2 corners. You can see Stroll currently P12 or P11 on a 1 minute point 3. We need 4 tenths to match that, and currently we're only 2 tenths up, so it's looking like it's not quite going to be enough. We nailed the final corner, but it's only a 1 minute point 45, and I believe that is going to be it for qualifying here today. A decent lap, to be fair. The fastest lap from Verstappen, a 59.4. Perez matching that as well. Lando in the sub 1 minutes. Leclerc as well. Bottas as well. And Pierre Gasly. So plenty of cars in the sub 1 minute range. We just miss out, and it feels like both myself and Schwartzman just lacking a little bit of pace in qualifying here today. But the race pace looks good even in practice. So I feel like we've got a good race car. And of course, range for the start of the race. So let's jump into it and let's see what happens in the Austrian Grand Prix.
It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Young superstar Max Verstappen starts from pole position. Sergio Perez lines up alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Gasly, Leclerc, Carlos Sainz and Bottas, Ricciardo, Russell, Tsunoda and Callum Ilott, Schwartzman, Stroll, Martinez and Vettel, Norris. They've taken a grid penalty. Ocon, Antonio Giovinazzi, and Nicholas Latifi. Lundgaard, Mick Schumacher, Mazepin, and Nobuharu Matsushita. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out. Then let's see who can prevail today.
So here we are then for the race at Austria. P13 on the grid, and the good news, it's raining. We have a massive opportunity here today to try and turn this race around, and I feel like we have got the pace to do it. We just need to make sure the strategy's on point. So for this one, we're going to run, of course, the intermediates to start with. It looks like it's going to dry out halfway through, so we're going to be expecting a weather change. Fuel-wise, I'm running the minimum, the lowest, again, which in this case is 5.2 laps under. We should save quite a bit in the wet conditions, so we should have no problems on fuel to get that back on target by the end of the race. Now for the setup, I've actually gone a little bit less on the left side of the tyre pressures because the left-sided tyres get quite hot around here. I've also tweaked the aero, so I'm running a +1 on the front wing of this setup. So yeah, hopefully it should do the job for us, and fingers crossed at the end of it, we've got some decent pointers to kind of, let's say, show off about. So let's jump into it, let's see what happens, and let's try and have a decent race here today. Right, let's do this. It should be fun, hopefully. Schwartzman has a good race as well. 5 lights. And we're underway. Good start. Very good start. Getting some nice traction there. Up towards turn 1. We're going to find loads of space on the outside. Schwartzman washing up a bit high, so I had to leave some room. But look at that. Up to P10 and passing 3 cars around the outside. Schwartzman, though, coming back for seconds as we head up towards the hairpin. We'll just be a bit cautious at first and be patient. We're going to take the shorter line here and get a bit of traction down. We're going to challenge Russell. Dare I say past him. Here we go. We're going to be a bit down on straight line speed because of the wing adjustment. But we're coming through. Locking up both front tyres as we go up the inside of Russell into turn 4. And there we go. We've made it work. Up into P9. Really good start. Exactly what we needed, of course, after that qualifying. So we're in the race. Bottas next, let's try and dispatch him as well, and then Tsunoda after that. So let's see, it's going to be a long race, 36 laps ahead of us, and of course a weather change pending. Let's actually ask real quick.
No issues with tyre wear for now, keep taking care of them.
So no damage, that's a good thing. Now let's check for the weather.
ETA on this rain clearing up is about 10 minutes, so just keep your concentration out there. Inters seem like the fastest tyre for now. The virtual safety car has been deployed. Slow down and maintain a positive delta. There's been an incident resulting in a high level of debris on the track. We've been informed that due to the increasing risks, they're moving from a virtual to a full safety car.
Okay, fair enough. So quite a lot to digest there, but the rain is going to be drying up soon, and we've now got a safety car in this race. So Ilott involved in a crash at the final corner, and yeah, we're now going to see how this goes. So yeah, we'll get back to you when the safety car phase is over. Safety car in this lap. Here we go. Let's make it a good one. Try and get some last minute tyre temp in. But we're ready to go. Let's try and keep this going. Hopefully the pace on the inters is good. I feel like it is. I think we can actually win this race. As long as it stays dry. I think that's the key factor here. I think once it goes dry, it may be a different story. But anyway, back on the way.
Green flag.
So the AI are going to be running full power for at least 2 laps, as always. And then that's when things will start to open up a little bit. But I'm also expecting them to lose a bit of time battling. So we may have a chance to...
We're low on fuel. Start lifting and coasting.
Yep.
Let's conserve what we have left.
Don't worry, Jeff, I got it. We may have a chance here with the AI braking early to make some moves. Up to the hairpin. We'll try and set up Bottas here. Trying to get the cut back. Oh, traction didn't quite go down there. Bit of a shame, I was hoping to make the move, but didn't quite get the job done. So Bottas will stay ahead for now, but I do feel really quick. We need to try and pass as many cars as possible. I'm actually going to also change my wing for the pit stop before I forget. When we go back to the dry conditions. Very important. Oh, Bottas made a mistake. We're going to squeeze through. Bit of contact as we try to make the move. Struggling to get the traction down. Bottas on the inside. We're going to try and use the downfalls and the extra front wing that we've got to look around the outside. Still side by side here. Now we're going to get it around the outside of turn 7. Lovely move up into P8. Important overtake. Bottas trying to re-challenge here into turn 9, but we're going to just get ahead. And there we go. Bottas making a mistake, and we were there to pounce straight away to make that move. So we can now go after Tsunoda here. The dry conditions are approaching. We're not too far off. As Verstappen tries to open a gap out front. Let's try and work to get past Tsunoda now. Oh my god. Whew. That was a scary one, that was. I was just starting to put some pressure on Tsunoda there and get a bit close, but whew, that was as close as it gets to not losing the car. My god. That was on the limit, that one. Tyre were looking good though. Gonna try and just knock down the differential a little bit to save the rears. But let's keep going. We've got more pace than Tsunoda and most of the cars ahead actually, so I want to try and make that count.
It looks like we'll be running on a dry track soon. Back to dry shortly.
And there's confirmation of the weather change that's upcoming. On for a personal best. Almost the fastest lap. Not quite.
Check your MFD for a new strategy option.
Ooh, okay, here we go. This is the change to dries, I think. Seems a bit early. Okay, no, still inters.
Copy that.
But it won't be too far away. The dries are not far at all. 1 or 2 laps, I reckon. Let's have a look then. See if we can get past Tsunoda. ASAP. It's going to be another personal best on this lap. Not quite a fastest lap, but into the 109s as we've got a yellow flag in the middle sector. I think a Haas has gone off the track. This should be it though. Here's our chance to pass Tsunoda. The Haas has now got going. Look at the speed of the AlphaTauri though on the straight. Tsunoda keeping ahead quite comfortably. Got that confidence though on the braking. Up the inside we go into turn 3. And we're through. P7. Another one ticked off. Next up is Daniel Ricciardo. Let's go after him. Well, the rain has now stopped and we are running on a drying track at this point. And the pace kind of reflects that because we're on for another personal best here and we're flying. Pace is very strong. I think this should be our fastest lap unless Verstappen goes and improves it right now. First warning for track limits. Bit wide at the final corner. But there we go. Fastest lap, 1 minute 9.7. As we now put some pressure on Ricciardo. Let's try and line him up for the pass here. I think out of turn 3 down to turn 4 could be the one. Still a fair bit of spray though, so we're not really near the dryers just yet, even though the rain has stopped about 3 laps ago now. Into the hairpin. Exit, not that great. Struggling for traction there. That might just ruin my overtake attempt on Daniel, which is a bit of a shame. Yeah, no way through just yet. Maybe through here though. We're pretty good for these next 2 corners. Trying to drift the rears to make the back end work. But through here we've got so much downforce and front wing that we're so fast in these corners. Look at the pressure we're putting on Ricciardo now. And Ricciardo has a moment. Makes a bit of a mistake under pressure. Trying to look through a way past it. Literally pushing Ricciardo through the end of this lap. There we go. That's a good exit out the final corner. Go to the inside. Let's make this overtake stick. Lovely. Nice move. Job done. P6. Up next, a couple of Ferraris. The track is super fast right now. Purple second sector. And now through the final sector, we go even quicker. 1 minute 9.6. It's got to be switched to dryers any minute, I think, because we're flying on these now.
Radar is clear. Weather is looking good for now. We're not certain which is the best tyre right now. Dries or inters.
Yeah, I can't lie, the weather...
Approaching the pit window, you'll be on the mediums.
I thought for a second there that was going to be the call for dryers, but we're not far off now. We're really not far. The spray is minimal, and if we've learned one thing from this game, is that it's usually dryers earlier than what it looks. But look at this. Great turn 3 here, right on the gearbox of Charles Leclerc. The Ferrari, though, look pretty decent on the straight, actually. Not really...
Okay, looks like some of those puddles are clearing. We're still on the right tyre for the time being, but we're not a million miles away from slick conditions.
Yep. Managed to make a move, though, under braking. Quite far back, but managed to lunge the car up the inside. Good confidence under braking. I'm so glad I've got that fixed now in terms of my braking situation. It's not perfect, but it's 9 out of 10 times better than before. So, yeah, I'm much happier with the brakes now. I seem to want 80% pressure, and that seems to do the trick.
Be careful, we think you're going to start losing some tyre grip around now.
I think this may have been a lap to pit for dryers, actually, the more I think about it. We'll see if I'm right or wrong, but we're really not far now. I wonder if we can just pass signs here. Never mind. Exit let me down. Unless down to turn 4 maybe, like we did with Leclerc. Closing in quite a bit, to be fair here. But we'll set it up for turn 4. If I can get the traction right. That's good enough, that'll do. Well, to be fair, Sainz actually motoring away here on the straight. He's definitely got some engine mode on. This is the scheduled pit stop lap, so will the AI pit for another set of inters? If they do...
A new strategy is available on the MFD.
Oh, there it is. There it is. It's got to be.
Understood, copy that.
Yeah, there it is. This is the lap then. Dry tyres. I knew it wasn't far away. Even though there's a lot of spray, in this game you go for dries a lot earlier than scheduled. Right, we ain't got a stack, so we can pit DRS enabled. Got the front wing change selected as well. We're going to go for softs though. We've got a fresh set of softs to use, so we may as well take full advantage.
Okay, the stewards have now enabled DRS. DRS is now online.
Now we're going to see how things go in the pit lane. It's going to be a race. Verstappen's going to get held quite badly, or in this case Perez actually. Verstappen stays out for one more, which could be massive in this race. Here we go. Soft tyres on.
Go, exit now.
Oh, we're just out behind Perez, but we've jumped Sainz.
After these tyres now, we want to finish the race on this compound.
So we've jumped Carlos in the pits. Perez ahead of us. He's on the mediums though. We're on softs. So we may get the chance to pass him here. Struggling for rear grip. I don't think the inters are too far off, as you see the spray now magically disappear on Perez's car. Can we pass Checo here? Track seems a bit wetter here with the spray kicking up. DRS just struggling for traction though. Perez driving off quite nicely in that medium tyre. Let's stay with him here. We may get a chance on the next lap. So Schwartzman in, along with the remaining cars who haven't pit yet. Let's see where Verstappen is. This is the real question. Looks like he's up towards turn 1 already, so Max hasn't lost too much time, as I expected. You know, the track wasn't super dry, so the inters would have probably held up. And look at that, Gaz, who's actually held on to P2 as well, so he's lost nothing at all. So we're net P4 right now. Let's see what we can do on the soft tyre. Got some decent end of straight line speed. It's just whether I can get the traction out of here. To have a look at Perez, I'm struggling, and actually Perez this time has DRS on Gasly, which isn't going to help. I'm trying to close in. Not quite able to get through though just yet. Oh, second warning for track limits. That's a bit of a dubious one. I hate that corner because you just don't know where the limit is. I can't get past right now though. Gasly is giving Perez DRS and I just can't seem to find a way through. Also, I've got to be extra careful now because if I get a penalty, it's going to send me back a long way. So I want to be cautious. Oh no, we've got some lap traffic here. Mazepin causing trouble again. Under blue flags, getting in the way of Pierre Gasly. Luckily, he gets out of the way for the rest of us, but Gasly having a bit of contact there with Mazepin. I don't think he got wing damage. so he's going to be okay. This is allowing Verstappen to get away though and win this race. We need to try and clear all this traffic. Blue flag for this Williams, Latifi. He gets out of the way nicely, there we go. Just don't know where I'm going to pass right now because Gasly's running at a good pace and he's dragging Perez along with him, which is quite frustrating. Ooh, okay, this time Perez goes up the inside. This could be interesting. I'm trying to traction up through there, but I just don't have the same level of confidence on the rear end as these guys do. Perez though going to go back again for a second attempt into turn 4. I'm just going to set up the exit out of turn 4. Gasly though hanging in there versus his former team. Side by side into the mid sector. Here we go. Oh, they're banging tights. It's really close. Out of turn 7 though, Perez gets it done. And now we can have a crack at Pierre. Oh, never mind. Pierre's going to have a crack at Perez. Into the penultimate corner. Oh my god, that was so close to a front wing being gone there. Oh no.
Time penalty. It will go against our finishing time at the end of the race.
And I've got floor damage as well. This is not good. These two are still going at it. There we go, that's the cutback we want. Come on. Go, 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 go. Perez doesn't have DRS. We can make this. But crucially, we have floor damage. And now Carlos Sainz is getting involved in the scrap. Up to the hairpin. I'm going to leave room.
The body's taken some damage. You may start to notice it.
Yep, that's okay. So Sainz out of nowhere up to P3. However, we have a time penalty. 3 seconds. And right now that would drop us behind all 3 of the cars we've just passed. So we've got 10 laps here. On, let's say, the not so favourable tyre anymore because the best part of the soft tyre is behind us now and the mediums are going to come into their own to try and get a 3-second gap on these guys. So it's not going to be easy. With floor damage, hopefully it doesn't affect us. The car does feel a little bit on edge as we get a 4th warning, so I'm all over the place right now. I've got to try and pull away, but the car does feel very on the knife edge. Personal best, but I'm not running at a good pace here. I think we're slow on the straights. I think the damage is slowing me down. Because I'm okay for the corners, but I've got no straight line speed at all. I can't shake these guys off. Here come Carlos Sainz.
Taken a little damage. Watch out for it.
Oh my god, I think we've got more damage over the turn 1 curb. Well, that's going to be a bit of a shame. Sainz gets past. I'll try and repass him, but again, we're not on the right tyre now. The medium is going to be the better race tyre. We're definitely lacking a bit of straight line speed though. I'm just about making this move on Sainz on straight line speed alone. So, yeah, I think we're lacking. Look at Sainz go. That Ferrari is running well. And we've got the same engine, by the way, so you can tell if we're down or not. We'll just get ahead, though, into there. But, yeah, this is going to be a... Oh, no. The inside curb spun me out. That's a big, big mistake to make. I'm trying to rejoin safely here. But we're in trouble now with the penalty, with the damage. Here comes Lando. I'll try to just about hold him at bay or not. Lando sends up the inside. What the hell is that? Contact between him and Russell. We get another warning. This race is completely unraveled and falling apart now. Here comes Lando. I can't shake him off. He makes the move into turn 1. And he's going to get DRS as well, but I'll try and fight it back anyway. Schwartzman not too far behind. I want to try and help him out if I can, as we try to put some pressure on Lando here. Up the inside at turn 3. That should do the trick. Hopefully Schwartzman can have a look at Lando because he won't have DRS. Come on, Robert. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Schwartzman on the Mercedes. Not quite. Lando stays ahead. Lando up the inside. Didn't think he would go for that, but he's committed. Hasn't worked out for him though, but it seems like Schwartzman doesn't have the pace this race, or this weekend in general. Bottas and Soda having a pretty intense battle up ahead. I'm thinking of retiring the car. We're going to finish out the points. So I don't think we've got a chance. I mean, I'll keep going. There might be a retirement in the top 10 and that might promote us, but realistically with the penalty, I think it's game over. Oh god. The car is terrible to drive, man. The balance is all over the place. There goes Schwartzman. Let's see if we can maybe get past Lando here. That's the best I can do really as a teammate, is to try and offer Schwartzman some help. But it feels like Lando's had a great exit there. Well, we'll just sit here and wait and see what happens. But I think this is going to be game over for us and at the end of our race.
Okay, some information
Oh.
on Perez. It looks like the problem is terminal. They're retiring the car.
Miracles do happen. There we go.
Yellow flag.
We will get a point, and that's why I just stayed in the race, just in case. Perez out, that is massive for the constructors. Obviously, Verstappen's going to get way more points than us as a team here today, but still, it's going to definitely help not be as much of a hammer blow in the Constructors' Championship. So Verstappen, fastest lap, 1 minute 1.8. I'm going to take a calculated risk here. Even with floor damage, I'm going to have a shot at the fastest lap. On P10, I'm going to try and pit and see what happens. I'm going to take a risk. We'll see if it pays off. I've got to use softs to go, so they're not going to be fresh, but fresh than what we're on right now. So we're going to basically roll the dice. If I can get an extra point and take it off Verstappen, that's a bonus at this stage. That could prove to be crucial at the end of the season. So we'll see. This has to be a perfect stop, though, from the crew. This has to be on point. Come on, let's go. And it is 2.3. We've made it. We're going to be ahead of Vettel and Giovinazzi. Really important stop. Obviously, we've got the 3-second time penalty, so we need to finish in the points. But the first step is to be ahead of these guys, which we are. So we've got a lap and a half to get a 1.5 gap. And I'm going to try and go for the fastest lap on the last one. Oh my god.
They've got a serious car issue. It looks like they're retiring.
Another car gone. Gasly out of the race.
There's been an incident on track, but officials aren't looking to push for a safety car right now. Just be careful.
Perez and Gasly out, the two cars we was battling with. So we're P9 and on for a fastest lap. Let's go. Well, Verstappen wins the race. I'm pushing as much as I can here. It's going to be close, really close. I need to nail this final bit of the lap. I've run out of battery though. I don't think it's going to be enough. Nope.
All right, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
A fantastic team effort to secure victory here in the Styrian Alps. Anthony Davidson, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
Well, they played the safety car to absolute perfection. There are so many factors to worry about once the race is neutralised. I mean, do you pit for fresh rubber? Do you have the space behind you? How much fuel can you save? If you answer all of those questions correctly, you'll have a good chance. And that's exactly what happened today.
Here come today's winners. The team at Red Bull have done a phenomenal job recently. It's clear to see that they've put in the work and they should be proud of the victory they secured here.
Well, there we go then. Race done at Austria, and not a good day for us. We got bailed out by 2 DNFs right at the end from Perez and Gasly, but generally speaking, a bad day at the office. I couldn't quite get the fastest lap. The floor damage made the car quite twitchy, so I wasn't really able to push the car completely, but Verstappen got it with a 1 minute 1.5 and the win. So Verstappen returns the favour after me picking up a win in the last race and Verstappen getting no points. He's back again, so the title fight is going to continue. Sainz P2, what a great race from him. Ricciardo P3, Leclerc P4 for Ferrari, Tsunoda P5. Then both Mercs, Bottas ahead of Lando, then it's Schwartzman, myself, and then Sebastian Vettel running out the point scorers with Giovinazzi, Stroll, Russell, Matsushita, Lundgaard, Ocon and Schumacher, and Latifi, Mazepin all missing out the points, and then Gasly, Perez and Ilott retiring from the race here today. So with that done, let's look at the standings, and after 7 rounds I believe we're equal on points, myself and Max, so game on. It's going to be spicy, very very spicy. Perez is kind of chilling right now in between P2 and P4, not really in any battle right now. Schwartzman still P7, 1 point behind Pierre Gasly, and then in the constructors we're still P2, but we've lost ground to to Red Bull, as the gap is now 39 points. So we've got to try and work to get that back down again. So yeah, there's a lot for the race here today at Austria. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like, subscribe for more. I do daily F1 content on my channel as always, guys, so do get subscribed for that. As always, a big shout out to the members, and finally check out the 2 videos on screen if you haven't seen them already. But that is it from me here today, and I'll see all of you in the next one. Until then, take care, and it's goodbye from me.